Medicare definitely has plenty of rules and regulations about when and when not to enroll. And in some situations, if you miss your enrollment period, you could face lifelong penalties, or you could completely forfeit your chance to enroll in a plan. So today's video is getting into the specifics of every Medicare enrollment period explained, so you can be well informed and make an educated decision about your Medicare. So stay tuned. I'm going to break today's video down into two parts. First, I'm going to explain the enrollment periods that impact the parts of Medicare: Part A, B, C, and D. Part C is also known as Medicare Advantage. Part D is prescription drug plan coverage. Secondly, I'll explain the enrollment periods that govern Medicare supplement insurance, also known as Medigap insurance plans. So to try to simplify, we're going to break it down. And first, we're going to talk about the enrollment periods that impact the parts of Medicare. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the enrollment periods for Medicare Parts A and B. This is really important to know because if you miss your Medicare Part B enrollment, you could face lifelong penalties. The Part B late enrollment penalty is 10% for every 12 months that you've gone without creditable coverage. And the Part B premiums increase most years, so this penalty could be huge over your lifetime if you miss your valid Part B enrollment period. Now, for folks who are collecting Social Security benefits prior to turning 65, you will typically be automatically enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B. You don't need to do anything. The government automatically enrolls you, and you'll receive your red, white, and blue Medicare card in the mail 1 to 3 months before the month you turn 65. But if you don't collect Social Security benefits prior to turning 65, then it's very important that you know about your initial enrollment period for Medicare, also known as your IEP for short. This is a 7-month window that starts 3 months before the month you turn 65. It includes your 65th birth month, and it goes up to 3 months after the month that you turn 65. This is generally when you must apply for Medicare Parts A and B in order to avoid a penalty, and when you can apply for Medicare Part C and Part D. Again, if you miss this window altogether, then you may need to wait to enroll in the parts of Medicare, and you could potentially face penalties. Now, however, and this is a big but, if you have other creditable coverage, then you can and usually should delay enrolling in Parts A and B of Medicare. And this is something that many people don't realize. So what is considered creditable coverage? Creditable coverage is coverage through an employer-sponsored health insurance plan when you are actively employed. You can also be covered under your spouse's employer-based health plan if your spouse is actively employed. Now, what is not creditable coverage for delaying Medicare Parts A and B? Marketplace or ACA health insurance that you purchase yourself. Retiree insurance is not creditable for delaying Parts A and B. And COBRA coverage is also not considered creditable for delaying Medicare Part B. Now, I do have a video linked below that talks in much more depth about delaying Medicare if you're working past age 65, including how to delay your Medicare enrollment and then what to do when you are ready to enroll in Medicare. So if it sounds like this applies to you, you definitely want to watch that video, which I've linked in the show notes below. Now, this brings us to Medicare special enrollment periods, also known as SEPs. These are triggered by certain events in your life, like losing other coverage or moving, which allow you to make changes to your Medicare coverage. So if you're working past age 65 and you have creditable employer-based health coverage, like I just mentioned, then you can utilize your Medicare Part B special enrollment period. This special enrollment period for Medicare Part B allows you to enroll in Medicare at any time that you are actively employed with employer-based health insurance, and you have up to 8 months after that active employment ends when you can use your Part B special enrollment period to enroll in Medicare Part B without penalty. When you do decide to enroll, your Medicare Part B effective date will start the first day of the month after you apply, but you can also request for it to start up to 2 to 3 months in the future. There are other types of special enrollment periods. On the government Medicare website, you can see a list here of all of the various types of life events that can trigger a special enrollment period for folks on Medicare. In most cases, if you experience one of these life events, then you have a 2-month special enrollment window where you can change your Medicare plan or enroll in a new Medicare plan. Some of the most common situations that we see are people that are losing employer-based or retiree health coverage, or people that are moving to a new state or a new county. Now, by far the most popular and the most advertised Medicare enrollment period is the Medicare Fall Annual Election Period, also known as the AEP for short. Some people refer to this as the Medicare Open Enrollment Period, but I really want to use the technical term since we're talking about so many different enrollment periods today. This period is from October 15th to December 7th every year. This is the time when people who are on Medicare can make changes to either their Medicare Part D prescription drug plan or their Medicare Advantage plan. Additionally, you can enroll in a Medicare Part D prescription drug plan for the first time. You can enroll in a Part C Medicare Advantage plan for the first time, or you can drop your Medicare Advantage plan and return to traditional Medicare during this time frame. Any changes that you make go into effect on January 1st of the following year. Now, the next window that I'll mention is called the Medicare Advantage Open Enrollment Period. This is a window that happens every year from January 1st to March 31st, and it is only for people that are enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan. If you're enrolled in a Medicare Part C Medicare Advantage plan, then during this window, you can either make one change to your Medicare Advantage plan, so you can choose a new Medicare Advantage plan, or you can choose to drop your Medicare Advantage plan and enroll in a standalone Part D prescription drug plan and return to traditional Medicare during this time. Again, this time frame is only for people who are already enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, Part C, and it has nothing to do with making changes to your Part D prescription drug plan if you have one. Additionally, also during this time frame every year, from January 1st to March 31st, is the Medicare Part B General Election Period. Now, this time frame is for folks who missed their Medicare Part B enrollment and did not qualify for a Part B special enrollment period. So they didn't have other creditable coverage, they just missed their Medicare Part B enrollment, and then they have to wait until the Part B General Election Period from January 1st to March 31st to apply for Medicare Part B, and they may face penalties. Your Part B coverage will generally start the first day of the month after you apply. So now that we've talked about all of the different enrollment periods that impact the parts of Medicare, we're going to talk about the enrollment periods that impact Medicare supplement plans, also known as Medigap plans. Those two words mean the same thing. I have lots of videos all about Medigap plans and how they work. So if you're not very familiar with Medicare supplement plans and how they work, be sure to check out those videos linked in the show notes below. But in general, these are the plans that are designed to work with traditional Medicare Parts A and B and pay the cost share that Medicare Parts A and B doesn't pay. And it's important to know that anyone enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B can apply for a Medicare supplement plan 365 days a year. However, these plans are typically medically underwritten in most states. So that means that you can apply at any time of the year. However, you will be asked a series of health questions on your application. And then the insurance company looks at those questions, they look at your health history and the medications that you take, and they decide whether or not to approve your application for coverage. Now, the one time that they will never ask you any health questions, the one time that you are guaranteed to be approved at the preferred rate with any company, is during your Medicare supplement open enrollment window. Everyone on Medicare has a one-time Medicare supplement open enrollment period, and this is triggered by your Medicare Part B effective date. This window lasts up to 6 months from your Medicare Part B start date. And generally, it's the best time to purchase a Medicare supplement plan because, like I said, you're guaranteed to be approved with any company that you choose, any plan that you choose at the preferred rate. Also very important to know is that after that window closes, that 6-month open enrollment window, you can still apply for a Medicare supplement plan at any time of the year, but there is no annual open enrollment period for Medicare supplement insurance in most parts of the country. You will have to pass through medical underwriting in order to apply for a new Medicare supplement plan or change your Medicare supplement plan in the future in most states. Additionally, when it comes to Medicare supplement insurance, Medigap insurance, there is something called guaranteed issue right enrollment periods, which are kind of similar to the special enrollment periods for the parts of Medicare, but these are specifically for Medicare supplement insurance plans. These are triggered by certain life events like losing other coverage that qualify you for a guaranteed issue enrollment period to choose certain Medicare supplement plans that you can apply for and be approved for guaranteed issue, meaning without any health questions or medical underwriting. If you have one of these life events that qualifies you for a guaranteed issue enrollment period, then you typically have 60 days from that life event in which you can apply for certain Medicare supplement plans, not any, but certain Medicare supplement plans without any medical underwriting, and you're guaranteed to be approved. Okay, that was a lot of different enrollment periods that we just covered, a lot of fun acronyms. And frankly, I have put off making a video like this because I think it can be a little bit confusing to talk about all of these different enrollment periods at once. But I have been getting requests for a video like this that differentiates every different Medicare enrollment period. So hopefully this helped to do just that. And if you found value in this video, please share it with someone who may also find value. You can like the video if you haven't done so yet. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And leave any questions and comments that you have for me in the comment section below. I really love hearing what you have to say, reading all of the comments, and hopefully getting some ideas for future videos from the comments that you leave me. You can always call my agency anytime for free, unbiased help and assistance with Medicare insurance. That is what we do. That's how we make our living. We are licensed independent insurance brokers who help seniors, many of whom find us right here online, to find and enroll in the best Medicare plan for their needs. So of course, we'd love the opportunity to assist you as well. You can call us anytime, and our service is completely free of charge. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you soon.